Before I start this story, I need to make one thing clear. I'm not the kind of person who believes in paranormal stuff. I don't scare easily, and I definitely don't buy into random horror stories online. At least, that's how I used to be, because what happened that night changed everything. This was my very first day working as an Uber driver. I had just gotten the job after being out of work for a while. I was actually excited. New start, new routine, something stable. My car was ready, the app was open, and I was just waiting for my first ride request. It was around 1:43 in the morning, and I had no idea that my first passenger wasn't going to be human. I didn't wait long. A notification suddenly popped up. My first ride request. The sound was normal, nothing unusual about it. But for some reason, it didn't feel normal. I looked at the screen. The pickup location was close, just 5 minutes away. But the name, something about it was off. It wasn't clear. It looked incomplete, like letters were missing or glitched. I paused for a second. Something in me hesitated. But then I thought, it's just my first ride, don't overthink it. So I accepted it and started driving. But almost immediately, something felt different. The closer I got to the location, the more everything changed. The city slowly faded behind me. Stores disappeared. Streetlights became weaker, and the roads were completely empty. No cars, no people, nothing. Even the GPS started acting strange. Sometimes it would freeze, then suddenly update like nothing happened. I glanced around. There wasn't a single vehicle in sight, not even distant headlights. Just me and the sound of my engine. I tried turning on the radio, nothing but static. That's when I felt it. For the first time, something wasn't right. Eventually, I reached the location, or at least, that's what the app said. I slowed down, looked around carefully, and that's when it hit me. There was nothing there, no house, no building, no driveway, just empty land and trees. I checked the app again. Arrived, but it didn't make any sense. I stepped out of the car slowly, closed the door behind me, looked around again. Still nothing, just silence. Deep, uncomfortable silence. Then my phone buzzed. A message from the passenger. I opened it. "Where are you? I'm upstairs." I froze. Upstairs? There was nothing here. No buildings, no structure, nothing at all. I typed back, "I'm at the location. There's nothing here." The reply came instantly. "Come up." I slowly lifted my head. At first, I didn't expect to see anything, just darkness, and the tops of the trees barely moving in the wind. But something felt off, like my body reacted before my mind did. My eyes kept focusing, trying to adjust to the darkness. And then, I noticed it. A shape, barely visible, blending in with the trees. At first, I thought it was just shadows, my brain trying to make sense of nothing. But the longer I stared, the clearer it became. There was something there, something above me. And the strangest part? I couldn't understand how I didn't see it before. It wasn't small. It wasn't hidden. It was just there, like it had always been there, waiting for me to look up. What I was looking at was a house, an actual house, old, worn down, barely holding together. The wood looked dark, almost rotten. Parts of it were uneven, broken, like it had been abandoned for years. But that wasn't what scared me. It was where it was. It wasn't sitting on the ground. It wasn't connected to anything. It was elevated, just slightly above where it should be, like it didn't belong to this place, like it was placed there instead of built. And inside, there was a faint light, very weak, flickering, just enough to prove that something was inside, watching. I didn't move at first. I just stood there, staring, trying to understand what I was seeing, trying to find any logical explanation. But then, I noticed something, right in front of me. Something I swear wasn't there before. A narrow path, leading up. It looked like a staircase, old, worn out, almost hidden under dirt and leaves. If I hadn't been staring so hard, I would have missed it completely. I stepped closer, and the moment I did, everything changed. The air felt colder, heavier. Even the silence felt different, like the world behind me was starting to disappear. I don't know why, but I started walking toward it, one step, then another, and before I realized it, I was climbing. Each step felt heavier, like I was being pulled upward instead of choosing to move. The trees around me felt closer, too close, like they were leaning in, watching. I looked back once, and I wish I hadn't. The path behind me looked darker, deeper, like it was fading, like going back was no longer an option. That's when I realized something. I wasn't just walking towards something. Something was letting me come closer. At the top, there was a door, just a door, standing there, like it belonged to a house behind it. But there was nothing around it. The wood was cracked, old, but solid, too solid, like it had been preserved, while everything else decayed. I stood in front of it, my hand slowly raised. But I didn't knock right away. Something inside me didn't want me to. The silence was overwhelming, like the entire place was holding its breath, waiting. Then finally, I knocked. Once, and before my hand even dropped, the door started to open on its own. I didn't remember stepping forward, but somehow I was inside. The moment I crossed the doorway, everything changed. The air felt different, thick, heavy, hard to breathe. The space inside didn't match what I saw from outside. It was too big, way too big. The hallway stretched far ahead, longer than it should have been. The walls were old, cracked, covered in marks, scratches, like something had been dragged across them. I turned slowly, expecting to see the door behind me. But for a second, I couldn't find it, like the space itself had shifted, like the moment I stepped in, I wasn't in the same place anymore. And that's when I realized I wasn't just inside a house. I was inside something else. At first, there was nothing, no sound, no movement, just silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears. Then, I heard it, a single step, soft but clear, somewhere deeper inside. I froze, listening, trying to figure out where it came from. Another step, this time louder, slow, deliberate, but not coming toward me. It was moving, sideways, like something was pacing, walking back and forth, just out of sight. And somehow, that was worse, because whatever it was, it knew I was there. My hand moved almost automatically, back to my phone. I needed to check something. I opened the ride details again, the name, the same name, but this time, I actually read it, and my stomach dropped. I knew that name. There was no mistake. I had heard it before, years ago, on the news, a story about someone who disappeared, never found, declared dead. And now, that same name was the one who requested this ride. I slowly looked up, and for the first time, I wasn't just confused, I was scared. That's when I saw it, at the far end of the hallway, something standing there, perfectly still. At first, I thought it was just a shadow, but it wasn't. It had shape, form, human, but not right, too still, too quiet, like it wasn't breathing, like it didn't need to. I couldn't see its face, just darkness. But I knew it was looking at me, and the longer I stood there, the more I felt it, that feeling that I wasn't supposed to be there. Then it moved, not forward, not backward, just slightly, enough to prove it wasn't my imagination. And then I heard it, a voice, low, calm, too calm. "You're late." It didn't echo. It didn't sound distant. It sounded close, way too close, like it wasn't coming from the end of the hallway, but from somewhere near me, something I couldn't see, something that was already closer than I thought. And then everything went dark, instantly. No flicker, no warning, just black, complete black. I couldn't see my hands, couldn't see anything, but I could feel it, something moving somewhere around me, slow, careful, like it didn't want to make noise, like it was getting closer. I held my breath, afraid that even the smallest sound would give me away. But deep down, I already knew. It didn't need to find me. It already knew exactly where I was. I don't remember deciding to run. My body just reacted. I turned and ran as fast as I could through the darkness. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't care. All I knew was I had to get out. Behind me, I heard something, not footsteps, not running, something worse, something following without making a sound. And then I fell hard. The impact knocked the air out of me. For a second, everything went silent. I opened my eyes, and I was outside, back where I started. No house, no stairs, no door, just the empty clearing, like nothing had ever been there. My hands were shaking as I grabbed my phone. I opened the app. The ride was gone. No request, no history, nothing. Like it never existed. Like I never accepted anything. Like none of this happened. But I knew it did, because I was still there, still breathing, still shaking, still trying to understand what just happened to me. I sat there for a long time, trying to calm down, trying to convince myself it was over. Then something caught my eye. The bag. The food I was supposed to deliver. I slowly reached for it, opened it, and froze. It was empty, completely empty. And that's when I knew this wasn't over, because later that night, at exactly 1:43 a.m., my phone lit up again. Same sound, same location, same name, waiting. And if you ever get a ride request at 1:43 a.m., don't accept it.